who are suffering. Okay, donate 10
Let's
cents a day
go
to
to
these little
Poland as soon as
black babies
possible.
with I'm sorry,
Let's go
African
to
babies
Poland as soon
with
as possible.
bloated bellies. Why aren't you donating 10 cents a day for the white people in Africa who are
Excellent.
facing genocide?
Well, first of all, Pepe, I'm shocked. I've never
No
ever
way.
said, but I live in
Anywhere.
Johannesburg, and Pepe's actually right.
Anywhere.
Most murders in South Africa are due to just nominal high rates of crime, right? The same person that would rob me would rob the white guy.
And by the way,
let me
there
tell you
is no
something.
Real
The white
Housewives
South
of
African is
Johannesburg.
different.
It's actually Durham. But again, I'm glad that you finally admitted that you're from South Africa. Thank you. That's why I said it. That's why I said it, because I'm smarter than you. Because I'm
If
smarter.
that's him in his picture, he doesn't look
look.
really like he's Khoisan or anything.
I'm not, doctor. You gotta calm down, brother. You don't, when you show a level of emotional immaturity, then that's how people are gonna treat you. But anyways, the point I'm making is Pepe's right. And by the way, you're caping for white people in South Africa. They're not the same type of white guy in America. There's a lot of them.
Excuse me, the wealthiest
The average white
African
South African
American
is very
is South
rich.
African.
And
Yes,
they were
we
trying
should be protecting South Africa.
They were trying
Apparently,
to-
they bring America brilliant talent.
They were trying to con President Trump into giving them a visa to come to America. Those are the lazy do-good. They're the ones you'd be mad at if they were here. So, what are you protecting? They're
I know.
proud of
Well,
I'm confused.
60
what do we
white
do?
people from Africa. Oh my God. It's an invasion. They're doing a con job. 60 people. And that white only community, there's like 60 of them there. They're going to overrun and change the entire rhetoric of the United States and the entire dynamic. Oh
They're
my
just not going
God.
to be
What
They're not going to be
The outrage.
60 more unproductive people in America.
Well, I would say this, to be fair, they're like the South Africans are probably South Africans are probably the
20
most
million useless that came over.
So Pepe,
and the South Africans are probably some of the most easy to assimilate just because they speak English. South Africa, a little bit of a different history, but they're culturally the whites, I would say, are similar to others in the Anglosphere. So it's
That's
just
what we want. We want
if you want to
assimilation.
look at the numbers,
Yeah.
okay, we want success and we want a healthy tax base, right? So if you want to talk about African billionaires, right? How many African billionaires have ascended to the level as African American Elon Musk? Okay, how many?
Wake it up.
well, to be fair, Doctor, why did Africans, especially West Africans, do so much better than you blacks in the United States?
You want to know why? Because they adopted white culture. Literally.
Well, I mean, the
Wow.
most wealthy black person in America, black. We're not talking about African and Caribbean. Okay, Mr. Stewart. Let's have a conversation with him.
Well, I don't know, when you go to the doctor and there's a guy with a funny looking accent, his last name's like Dickumwabwe or some weird fucking shit. Like a lot of these are like Igbo or
Listen,
what do you call those? What are the other ones? The Igbo and the bigger one, Yoruba. Like these people actually have like their own. I know Alan was joking, but they
No,
dude, stop talking over me.
Joking. I
No.
wasn't joking.
But I would say that no, I think they have culturally. I mean, it seems like they have like their own class, and they have a class of people that do really well, and they're very disciplined with their children and how they raise them, and that's why they come here, and they're just like the upper caste Indians that come here.
Well, why do you keep comparing black Americans to Africans? Like, they're not the same people.
We should compare them to China.
And especially
Chinese.
30 years later, because again, a good majority of those said black Africans are being invaded by Arab countries. So that's why, a lot of them are coming to, the
Shit, it's the same religion, just terrorizing a different region of the country or of the globe, right? So what's the difference between
Right. It's the software.
right? That's a good way to put it. It's a software.
Yeah,
But again-
somebody said that they're more worried about the violence in Chicago. Are you worried in theory or in Like, how
And
do you divide yourself?
they're not doing shit
You
about
said
it.
violence
They're
in
not.
Chicago. I said I'm more worried about the quality of life of people in Chicago. And you're talking about violence.
Well, the quality of life is synonymous with violence.
No, it's not, because everybody in Chicago is not violent.
Well,
Well, what is it?
Quality of life.
What does this say? Manville's not here, but it's like in the homicide departments, like this week's or last week's suspect, this week's victim. Like these people are known to. I mean, often these people that get killed, these young ends, they've got a few bodies on them as well. Like there's that popular. What the fuck was the name of those little shits? These rappers in. It's like Tallahassee or somewhere in fucking Florida.
Like Folio.
Yeah. And these guys are like making rap songs about the people they've killed, and like it's just like a huge long list. And like a couple of them have been killed. That Folio guy just got killed, right, in the last year.
Yeah, he's dead.
And he made a rap song with listing like 30, 40 fucking people that got smoked by his gang. And mocking them,
Okay.
and
Elvis married a 14-year-old girl. So what is your point?
Well, my point is though is that like,
Three-
shut the fuck up, Adams. Goddamn. The point is that by the time like this guy got killed, he's already got a bunch of bodies under his belt. Like none of those black young men were innocent. Like people like, oh no, why did they have to die so young? Because they were hanging out with a bunch of killers and they're killing people, and then they ended up getting killed. That's it went full circle.
Yeah, that's right. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
And we're not even talking about like disrespecting ops. We're like, they literally went in a music video. They went to the cemetery where the little kid died, and they dug up like his grave. What? As a diss. That's how demonic these people are. Like, and then we're talking about inner city. Well, let's save them. There's inner city people already doing the work, and they get killed every single day. Being around these young ends, right? What are we supposed to do about this issue? We can't help them. They don't want to be helped, right? So you can say, oh, well, there's black people in the inner city that need help. Yes, we understand that, but at the same time, they're making music videos in cemeteries, making diss tracks about dead teenagers, right?
Well, I think there is a solution, but it wouldn't work in a free country. Like, I'm pretty sure if you go to Cuba, you don't see black gang members anywhere. You don't see them selling drugs. They're not unemployed. They're not doing any of that shit because they
Have
would
you
be
been to
put
Cuba?
No, I have friends.
Got
who-
it.
But they would be put in. They actually are pretty strict. They're not going to allow gangs and that kind of shit, especially out in the open. But they will put you. They will lock you up. Period. That was kind of the case in a lot of the communist countries.
Yeah.
Well,
you see that's racist.
Well, and punishments used to be more harsh here, but every 20, 30 years or so, we get this push from the left, how we have to be compassionate and understanding of the circumstances, why a perpetrator might be driven to, beat his girlfriend with a baseball in the face. Oh, he was brought up in a single parent home with his mother, and he was oppressed by his teachers who taught him white math instead of a more diverse and inclusive teaching method for math. And that's why he beat his girlfriend. So no, don't put him in jail. Just let him let him out and be on probation, because that'll help reform him instead. We go through those cycles, and then what it teaches people is that, I can get away with crime and I can do it again. That's why and I was trying to get from Manville how old that blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid that the judge wanted to take away his license was. What the judge was doing was correct. Yeah, scare the shit out of him on his first offense, and then he'll learn, yeah, don't do that shit. None of this, oh, well, it's his first offense. I think that's backward. First offense, yeah, don't throw him in jail with hardened criminals, but make sure he knows he fucked up and he's gonna pay a price.
Well, I'll say this, like, in defense of people, if I had to grow up around a bunch of violent black people that I have to worry about, like, trying to fuck with me, rob me, whatever, I mean, I don't know that I would, I don't know that I would be the, if I was living in proximity with people that were constantly fucking with me, trying to rob me, if I was getting jumped, fucking with me, trying to rob me, if I was getting jumped, if I was doing any of that, I'm not going to say it would